Hi, good morning. I know I haven't been posting much lately. I'm going to be posting the video I did on, I think it was Friday. It was either Thursday and Friday for Medusa makeup unboxing. Today I'm going to talk about Matthew 8, verses 5 through 13. I watched Elevation Church this morning. I watch it from time to time because I like the pastor does get a little crazy at times. He's enthusiastically crazy. Um, but a lot of things he talks about make me think or really touch me deep inside. And today was one of those days. And I watch him. I'm not somebody who watches him constantly, but I do catch it a couple times a week with the replays and little snippets from the past. Um, but this really touched me because he was talking first about walking on water and how Christ told Peter to come, and Peter was kind of hesitant and asked for a sign. It's like I always read that verse and it's like, you're with the guy all the time. What do you mean you need a sign? You see him walking on water. What more sign do you need? But after he walked over there and started to sink, and Christ caught him and says, "That's where the famous 'O ye of little faith.'" And yeah, it's not that Peter didn't have a lot of faith. It just wasn't a deep level of faith. Um, and then he brought up, and it was interesting because the pastor brought up a verse that I've known, and I got the meaning of the verse before, but he said this is the first time he really connected this verse with putting it next to the one about Peter and "Oh, you little faith," and it's Matthew 8, 5 through 13, where the centurion, now this is a Roman soldier, a Gentile. The Romans worshipped multiple gods, and but they had taken over most of the Mediterranean at one point, and the centurion had a servant who was very ill, and Christ was out walking, doing his thing, and the centurion came up to him and said, "I've got this very sick servant. Will you heal him?" Basically, so, and Christ replied, "Oh, do you want me to come follow you, and heal him?" And the centurion looked at him and said, "So basically, he said, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof." And so he recognized that. And he called him Lord. So he's recognizing his power and strength. And he's like, "I know who you are and what you can do and stuff. So just say the word, say the word, and my servant will be healed." And he goes on to say, "I am a centurion. I have soldiers who follow me. When I say do this, they do that. When I say come here, they come here. And my servant, I have servants. When I say come and do this for me, they come and do it for me. All I need to hear is your word." That is really deep faith. Sorry. Um, So Peter asked for a sign. Now you think, oh, disciples, they have a lot of faith, but Peter asked, they keep asking for signs. And here's somebody who doesn't know Christ, who hasn't lived with Christ, who hasn't walked with Christ, and yet he knew what command is. He knew in his position, when he says, "Do this," he expects people to do it. And he says, "Come here," and he expects people, the person he's talking to, come here. And so he knows what command is, and he recognized in Christ that Christ was a commander. And all Christ had to do is send the word, "Your servant is healed." And he was. Christ did it, and the servant was healed because of this man's faith in Christ. So that hit me really hard because I've been struggling. I've been having a really hard time lately. And I'll be honest with you, this is kind of a confessional for me. I've been having a bit of a hard time, and I've been asking, is this right? Tell me. I mean, I'm not clear. I'm not certain. The signs I've been getting are so quiet and so little. And I haven't heard directly, this is what I want you to do. But I keep getting these little nudges, and I keep asking, can you really just tell me? But then when I listened to this morning, it's like, well, maybe I should just follow the little nudges, which is what I've been trying to do. But it gets frustrating because I would much prefer Christ to just Christ or God to send somebody to say, Mary, this is what you're supposed to do. Just do it. But anyway, I thought I'd talk about it in case somebody watches this video who really needs to hear this. Is we need to not ask for so many. I know people who ask for signs all the time and they get them, and it's really weird. And it makes me kind of wonder. They're constantly asking for signs, and they're getting these signs. They're very specific signs they ask for, but yet in this chapter, in this verse, the centurion is like, no, I know who you are. I know what you command. All you need to say the word, and it will happen. So it's making me really think, should I be constantly asking for signs like some of these people are telling me I should do, or should I just go? So it's something to think about, but it does have to do with your faith in God. So maybe I'm only getting these little signs because I don't have a deep enough faith, or is it because I know the answer already, but it's just not getting through? So that's what I'm talking about today. Is, this is something we each have to discover for ourselves. We each have to think about, pray about, meditate, pray about, and listen. I know I missed a subtle clue yesterday when I had signed up for a webinar to do with my business, my coaching business. And as I'm watching some videos, some YouTube, my morning routine is to try to get at least one spiritual YouTube in there, and one that makes me laugh to start the day off with. And I kept thinking, but since it was Saturday and I was just taking my time, I kept thinking, oh, I should go grab my phone. Oh, I should grab my phone. And then it was like, oh, I should get up and get dressed and get going. And I looked at the clock, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, there was a webinar an hour ago. And I was like, I missed the webinar. And I thought, for 5 minutes before 9 a.m. or whatever, when the webinar started, I kept getting the thought, go get your phone, go get your phone. I ignored it. So anyway, I think that has a lot to do with it too, is that maybe I'm ignoring too much and not paying attention, not really paying attention. And maybe if I start paying better attention, the signs would get clearer and bigger for me. I'm going to leave you at that because this is starting to get long. Anyhow, have a great day. Bye.